Ladies and gentlemen, it is the final and championship round of the Ego Olympics. Let's do this thing. In the last round, the round of 4, we had our selection process before that from 8. You guys voted them down to 4, and now we have voted them down to 2. Let's check out the videos from the last round, and we will see who is the highest 2 voted lifters. So starting things off with 4th place, we have Francois. Francois had to step up because Igor Klimenov was unable to participate in the last or in this segment. Francois did another tic-tac lift with the rail car behind him. But this time, once he got to the front or to the implement he wanted to use, he did a Zercher deadlift. And at this point, that's just a deadlift, okay? That's the proper deadlift technique. Zerchering is deadlift now. The regular conventional deadlift or sumo deadlift, that's just some candy ass that we don't need to do anymore. The only version of deadlift you need to know is the Zercher one. So we're just going to call it a deadlift. So Francois, I think here, it just was too similar to the last round. And I think it just took too long to develop. So he used the skateboard again, and you're going to see Mikey, who got 3rd place. He used the skateboard as well. So moving on to Mikey's lift, you know, this wasn't his best work. And this is why we have a competition. We know Mikey is capable of greater things. I think, obviously, his lift from the previous round was better. This time around, what I can say is if we are ranking the ego lifts from best to worst using these criteria, load used, creativity, and effort, I think load used and effort, this is pretty high up there, right? We got the close-up of his face, and we had a new implement this time which had a little bit of creativity points, which was the saw. But, you know, I think the skateboard might be played out, you know, but that is unless he's doing some sort of aerial with the skateboard. So Mikey got 3rd place. Now, to the top 2 finishers. First, we have deadliest lift. This man is a pure psychotic rager in the weight room, and this lift was amazing. 2 different implements. He had the log in his right hand, and he had a safety bar in his left hand. He loaded each one so that they could be offset so he could grip them closer to the front. In total, this was 800 pounds. Incredibly creative. Obviously, load used and effort were there as well. This is a great second round lift from Deadliest Lift. Mikey had a World Championships of Ego Lifting, and Deadliest Lift was the winner in that. So up next, we have our top-ranked lifter from the last round, and that was Atlas Shrugged. So Atlas on this one hit it right on the money. Creativity with the single-arm deadlift, 455 pounds. Creativity, adding in the beer, and I think honestly the fact that he's been so vocal about dedicating his lifting to Bud Jeffries, you know, and the effort was there as well. Adding in the beer, man, it's just another thing. It's another thing that expands the realm of ego lifting. So there you have it. Our 2 competitors, Deadliest Lift and Atlas Shrugged. Let's hear from both of our competitors before they submit their final lifts. Here is Atlas with some stuff to say about training.
A storm is coming. But that's just the weather in LA right now. It's not really relevant. I don't know why I brought it up. I go by Atlas Power Shrugged on Instagram, also YouTube, and I practice old-time strongman training. These are lifts that were popular back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, but have since mostly died out. Now, the old-time strongman had to figure out how to create the most impressive, spectacular performances using only minimal equipment and the unaided human body. They didn't have drugs to rely on to get indefinitely stronger. They had to come up with creative ways to lift more weight and wow the crowd. And what they did used a lot of tendon strength, mobility, as well as a lot of skill and courage. So let's see if old Atlas can dig into those deep forbidden tomes, maybe get back into the forbidden section of the library, maybe bribe a librarian, wait till they're passed out drunk, I don't know. Find some kind of a deep, dark, black tome and find a forbidden technique. Back in the forbidden section of the library, the technique of old. It's going to let him rival the deadliest lift. Maybe even show the safest lift. What a lift that could really be deadly looks like. I don't know. Can old Atlas pull one out of the hat? Are the old ways good enough to stand up to the modern challenges of ego lifting? I think so. When you think about it, ego lifting's a whole lot like what those old-time strongmen had to do. And I think that's still going to be the best way to get the job done.
So yeah, I have complete respect for Atlas. You know, his outlook being that the old school strongmen really didn't have much, and he's making it work. You know, he didn't mention that he's in his jeans and Vibram 5 fingers, and he's got, you know, the aviators on in every video. You know, something that you guys need to grasp about these gentlemen in these videos is that they're just distinctly different people. And maybe some of you out there can relate to that, just not really fitting in. And I honestly, that's the reality. This is what interests me the most. These guys are fascinating to me. They're just different from the rest of society. For the most part, you know, they don't like party hard. They try to stay healthy. They try to minimize stress in their lives. They lead pretty healthy lifestyles, and then they go and do their extreme shit. You know, this is similar to the guys who go and skydive and base jump and stuff like that. This is their version, and I think it's really interesting. Up next, we have Deadliest Lift, and he's going to talk about his training.
Hey everybody, Mark, aka Deadliest Lift here. Zach asked us to tell you guys why we ego lift and why we keep coming back to it. And for me, it's really because the lifts, the odd lifts, the old lifts, and the original lifts, they're fun. They're way more interesting than your basic lifts that you're doing day in, day out, your bench, squat, dead. They're exciting, they're fun to watch. They really seem to piss off all the foreign police, the deadliest boys, and the people that are afraid of anything they didn't read in the Starting Strength book, and that's always fun. I love the competition and the community. I like seeing people post their creations and trying them myself, or having people try stuff I make up. And really just everything about it is so much more exciting than the day in, day out training. And ever since I kind of started getting into it, I've had so much more fun with my training than I did before. And the expanse of what I can achieve and like my horizons for PRs have just expanded so much. And I'm really glad that this sort of thing has taken off, and I've had a great time being in this competition. And I hope you all enjoy my entry. I stuck to just the bar and plates so I could fight Atlas at his own game. And we'll see if that's enough. So I hope you enjoy my entry.
So there you have it. Those are our two competitors. They will be facing off right now. However, what I want you guys to do after you watch both of these lifts, please vote down below in the description. It's a quick survey. All you have to do is rank them 1 or 2. Okay? And we will declare the winner in the next video. So let's do this thing.
Whoa!
rock, groove, do what the fuck we want to. Ain't no rules, we acting a fool. Got grind to the beat, motherfucker, let's move. We bounce, roll, rock, groove, do what the fuck we want to. Ain't no rules, we acting a fool. Got grind to the beat.